All right, everyone, we're about to go over the exact process that helped me lose 25 pounds. This is going to be not necessarily 5 steps, but this is going to be 5 things, 5 subjects, 5 ideas of the exact things that helped me lose 25 pounds and achieve my dream body. So how it started, when I first started working out, fitness was just something I was doing to tag along with a friend. I had somebody that I worked with at Red Robin in Prescott, Arizona, who would come in and he would be limping around a little bit. And there were a few times where we'd be like, "What's going on? Are you okay?" "Oh, yeah. It was leg day yesterday." So he was kind of like the first person in our friend group that started going to the gym. And it was kind of like one of those things like, "Oh, I want to be a part of that. Like, that's cool." And one of the days that we asked him why he was walking around like that, what's going on, he ended up saying, "Yeah, you want to come with me? You want to come with?" I was like, "Sure." And that was the beginning of our friendship. I still talk to him to this day. And I didn't know that that would be something that completely changed where I would end up. When I first went to Prescott, Arizona, I went there to go to rehab, an extended rehab facility. So I was sober. Without the drugs, I was bored. It was a very small town. We all went to work. We would socialize a little bit, get coffee with people, and we'd go to meetings. There was really nothing else to do there. So this gave me something constructive to do with my day, to start working on something new. It was exciting. I didn't take it very seriously in the beginning, but I just liked showing up because my friend was going and the workouts were intense. I liked how it made me feel. It was a social hour for me. Me and him would just catch up. We would just talk about life, which was really pivotal for me because at the time I was just still learning so much. I was 25 at the time. So I was just learning about life. I was learning how to navigate jobs and friends and women and relationships and all of those things. So it was really an important piece of my day and I really looked forward to it. I didn't look forward to the dieting and like actually working out. Like the idea of it is what I liked, but I wasn't very serious about it, if that made sense. So I was doing everything right. I was getting my workouts in. I worked out a few times a week. My workouts were long, an hour to an hour and a half. I rotated muscle groups. Except for I did skip legs for the first few years. And the intensity was high. Like he would really push me. My mindset, I would focus on motivating myself, hyping myself up. I focused on being positive. And those were the main things that I would think to myself is like, all right, I'm going to go kill this workout. I'm going to go like just really getting myself pumped for all of this. As far as nutrition goes, I stopped eating fried foods. I cut out soda and juice. I slowed down on alcohol and I focused on protein. So the 3 things that I was under the impression that I needed to do, I was doing. And I thought I was doing everything right. Okay. But I still hated what I saw when I looked in the mirror. I still had love handles, no definition. I had a lower belly. I'm not going to lie, guys. When I first moved to Denver from Prescott, that was 2 years into my fitness journey. That's when I was 25 pounds overweight, and I don't have any pictures of that. The pictures I'm showing you here, I'm still, I don't want to say fairly light. Like I'm 155 pounds in the pictures that I'm showing you, but I'm showing you them because they're the only pictures that I have. And I still didn't have my dream body in those pictures. But there was a point where I was 170 pounds. I was 170 pounds when I first moved from Prescott to Denver. And I hated what had happened to me. So the pictures that I'm showing you, I had already lost 15 pounds, 20 pounds in some of them. But I'm just showing you them to give you an idea of how even when I was putting years and years into work, I still didn't have my dream body. Okay? I hated what I saw when I looked in the mirror. I thought that maybe this is just how my body had to look. I thought that my love handles were just how I looked. I thought I was just pear-shaped. I know that sounds harsh, and I'm not trying to dog on myself. But when I looked in the mirror and I saw that I always had love handles, and then I always had to wear a baggier shirt to kind of cover that curviness on the back of my love handles, I thought maybe this is just how it is. Maybe this is just how my body is. I thought this was one of those things where I just needed to be body positive and I just had to accept myself. But after 5 years of showing up in the gym, eating differently, and working on my mindset, I just knew that there must be something still missing. I knew that there are other people that do it. Like, this can't be it. This really can't be it. Like, I've been putting years into this. There's no way that this is my fullest potential when it comes to what my body looks like. So over the years, I have learned a few different things that really, really set myself up to actually achieve my dream body. Things that I wasn't necessarily aware of, 5 years into my fitness journey. Things that I didn't realize I needed to do. But over a lot of trial and error, a lot of trying new things, a lot of making mistakes, a lot of things that do work, a lot of things that don't work, I've been able to put together the 5 things that really helped me take my physique to the next level and to help me achieve my dream body. So I'm going to share those things with you today. So hopefully you can use them, you can apply them, and you can start seeing some changes and you can achieve your dream body as well. The first thing was I had to accept that I was where I was at because of me. All of this was my responsibility. I needed to take full accountability. It wasn't my genetics. It wasn't my metabolism. It wasn't my parents. It wasn't my girlfriend. It wasn't my friends that are making me eat these things. It wasn't anything or anyone but me. Was I really eating healthy? Was I tracking my food? And the answer to that was no, I wasn't. I wasn't tracking my food. I would just plate my food. I had this idea that I needed to eat big to get big because I was following bodybuilders when I first started working out. I needed to eat big to be big. So I was binging a lot of times, even when I thought it was healthier foods. So I was working out. Was I working out 4 to 5 days a week without missing? That's the key part. Yes, I was working. Sometimes I was working out 4 to 5 times a week for a while. But then there'd be a few weeks where maybe I only went twice a week. Or maybe I didn't go at all because I just was fucking off for a little bit. What do my off-plan meals look like? I'll tell you what, my off-plan meals were my excuse to just completely sabotage everything. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I get to go have some, whatever, chicken wings and french fries or this or pizza or whatever. And I would binge all day. All day. All of the progress that I made that week would be thrown out the window because on my off-plan meals or off-plan days, I would binge. So I was exactly where I deserved to be with my progress. And I had to be completely honest with myself. Oh, second thing, set realistic goals. I wanted abs, strong legs, biceps, a definition in my back, and I wanted it within a few weeks. And when I didn't get it, I would sabotage. The things I would think in my head, I've been doing everything right, it's not working, so I'm going to enjoy myself a little bit, right? Because we think that when we're putting in this effort and we're not seeing instant results, that it's kind of a waste of time and that we're missing out. We have that mindset that we're missing out and we're wasting our time. Why am I not going to go enjoy this food or go do this with my friends or whatever? Like it doesn't even do anything when I'm, neglecting those things and cutting those things out. Almost like we're missing something. But I realized over the years that not only does it take longer than we think it's going to take, but in order to take on the identity of someone that lives a healthy lifestyle, you're showing up either way. It's almost like when someone's healthy, when they're in shape, they're still going to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. They're still eating healthy 80% of the time. But as we're getting to that point where we're trying to learn how to live a healthy lifestyle, we do it for a few weeks and we're like, oh, this isn't working. But somebody who lives a healthy lifestyle doesn't say that. Like they still show up. They still show up despite whatever else is going on because they're just the type of person. They've taken on the identity as someone who lives a healthy lifestyle, but I didn't understand that. Because after a few weeks of showing up, eating a certain way, working out consistently, I wouldn't see the results. And they'd be like, this is pointless. This is pointless for me. I didn't understand that I needed to do it. I needed to do it irregardless of how I felt or what was happening on the outside. And these moments of me falling off because what's the point would turn into benders that would set me back for months. So I would spend this time drinking as much as I wanted to, eating whatever I wanted to, not taking anything seriously, not going to the gym, just fucking off, basically. But if I had set realistic goals and expectations, I would have stayed on track because I would have known, like, hey, I just got to keep showing up despite what's going on. Instead of a few weeks of dialing in, it's got to be a few months. And I'm telling you guys, if you just make that adjustment in your head, set realistic goals, you will have so much more to hold on to. You know, when you're telling yourself you're going to see results in a couple of weeks and you don't see them, that messes our head up. You know, and the way we talk to ourselves after feeling like we failed because after a few weeks we're not seeing results, I mean, it can be really hard to come back from that. So set realistic goals. Don't think that you're going to have a six-pack in 2 months, because you're not. That's just what it is. It's going to take a while, but you will see progress much quicker if you just stick to it instead of falling off, getting on, falling off, getting on. All right. Third thing is commit to a specific workout schedule. I want to tell you guys about this book. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, this book, other than a lot of other ways he talks about building habits, he talks about specifically a study in the book about some college students that were going to start working out. There were 3 groups. The first group was told, you're just going to document when you work out. That's it. The second group was told, you're going to document when you work out, and you're going to be shown some motivational and educational material about health. The third group, they were told to write down a specific time, day, and location that they were going to work out and to document that. The group that was in group 3, they showed up twice as much as the other 2 groups, just by writing down a time, day, and location that they were going to work out. So I encourage you guys, if you're trying to really hold yourself accountable, make a plan. Don't tell yourself that you're going to work out 3 times this week. Tell yourself that, all right, I'm going to work out Monday at 8 a.m. at this gym. I'm going to take this class on Wednesday, this workout class on Wednesday at 3 p.m. And then Friday, I'm going to, do this. Okay? Really write down specifically times, days, and locations of when you're working out. And you will double your chances of being able to stick to it, being able to hold yourself accountable. I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect if you do this, but any way of increasing your chances of actually showing up is going to help you. All right. Number 4, cut one thing out at a time. Too much too soon can be overwhelming. The bigger the jump, the bigger the shock to your body. Okay, I want to tell you guys this story. When I first started working out or really trying to change my eating habits, I would do it all at once. I would tell myself, all right, I'm only eating chicken, broccoli, and rice. And I'm eating cream of wheat for breakfast and protein shake, and the list of bland foods goes on. I'm not drinking, I'm not having sweets, I'm not doing anything. I'm not being over dramatic when I tell you guys this, but I would last literally 2 or 3 days. That's it. 2 or 3 days, that's it. And then I'd be like, this sucks. Like, this is awful. So then I would fall off. I would eat a big meal, French fries, ranch, love that stuff. But I would say screw it because it was so uncomfortable for me. But at the time, I didn't realize that I was doing too much too fast. I was cutting out everything at once. It was a shock to my body, and I didn't know how to not only talk myself through it, but I didn't know how to exist. I didn't know how to exist like that. I look like I have a typo on the bottom of this. Sorry, it distracted me. All right. So integrate habits slowly. Commit to changing one thing at a time. And once that's dialed in, add something new. You want it to become a habit before you add, that's supposed to say more. Sorry, guys. This is why. Because, okay, let's use the example of brushing your teeth. When you're a kid and your parents tell you, go brush your teeth, it's like, oh, I don't want to brush my teeth. I don't want to brush my teeth. Right? And now as an adult, you just brush your teeth. Like, it's just so ingrained in you. You just do it. You don't have any pushback. You're not arguing with yourself. You just do it. But it took it becoming a habit for you to get to that point. So in the beginning of you cutting things out, you want to make sure you do it. You let your body adjust. It becomes a habit. And then you change something else. So I would suggest doing one thing a week. 1 week you're cutting out soda. The next week you're cutting out the really sugary coffee creamer. Maybe you're changing to a sugar-free coffee creamer. The next week you're cutting out fried foods. All right, I'm going to cut out fried foods. The next week you're cutting out something else, right? And it's a slow integration. It's not everything at once. And that will be so much more sustainable for you, for one. And for two, it'll be much more enjoyable. It's that little bit of challenge that makes it fun, but not so overwhelming where you're like, there's no way I can do this. So don't set yourself up for failure with that. Make sure you're setting yourself up for success. Cut one thing out at a time. It's a slow burn. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And learn how to integrate these small habits into your routine. And 5, this might be the most important, but every day is a new day. You will not be perfect. The worst thing you can do is beat yourself up. Treat every day as a fresh start, one foot in front of the other. Learn to control your negative thoughts. And this is what I mean by that, is that there are going to be so many days where you wake up and you're like, dang, I messed up yesterday. Let's say you go out to dinner with your friends. Yeah, I'm going to go hang out with them. You eat well. You eat on track. They start drinking. You kind of get a little FOMO. You know, we all kind of get that little FOMO. And you start drinking with them. Next thing you know, you're drunk. You go home. You go to sleep. You wake up in the morning. You're kind of hungover. Damn, I drank last night. I feel like shit. You don't go to the gym. And I'm using this example because this was me. Okay? This was me. I would spiral so bad. I did it again. I'm a failure. I messed up again. Why did I do that? And I would just spiral. And I was so rude to myself. I would bully myself. It didn't help me. It didn't oh yeah, I'm a failure. That's exciting. That really makes me want to go to the gym now. That's not how it was. Those moments would keep me out for a week, 2 weeks before I got back in. Now, if I just said, you know what, I missed my workout this morning, I'm a little hungover, maybe I shouldn't have drank yesterday, and I can address that later, which I eventually ended up doing. I eventually ended up addressing that later and telling myself, you know what, when I drink, even while I'm drinking, I tell myself I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow, that's kind of a lie. We know I don't show up when I'm hungover. So maybe I shouldn't drink. Maybe I should really make sure that's a priority, is to not drink. So eventually I started doing that. But what I'm saying is that when we spiral about the things that we mess up on, oh, I had a little ranch on my food and it added 300 calories, or I didn't track, or I ate a pastry, or I had that chocolate, or my boss brought in brownies and I couldn't say no. In those moments where we have the little slip ups, or we have the not being perfect, it's really important to not beat yourself up. I'm not saying being passive. Don't be passive. Don't tell yourself it's okay. Don't tell yourself that, oh yeah, I just binged on a bunch of pastries, it's all right, and then do it the next day and just keep using that as an excuse. What I'm saying is, it's okay to be human. It's okay to have a human experience. And that means in those moments that you're going to have times where maybe you do fall a little short. Maybe you do make a mistake. Maybe you do have a lapse in judgment. Maybe you do screw up when you go out with your friends and you eat something that doesn't align with your goals, or you drink, or you don't show up to the gym, or whatever. And it's all part of the learning process. But the more you beat yourself up and dwell on what you didn't do, the longer it's going to take you to get back in. And for me, what I do personally, I just treat the next day like it's another day. Dang, that's not good. Okay, getting back in the gym, gonna go on a walk, gotta drink some water, gonna do something for myself today. I'm not gonna let this prevent me from showing up as the person that I want to show up as. So what I'm saying is that it's really important for you guys to just have a human experience. This isn't like a robot experience. And a lot of people think that it is when they start living a healthy lifestyle. They think that they're missing out. They think that they can't be human. They can't experience celebrations and birthdays and weddings. They can't hang out with their friends. They can't enjoy food. They can't try new restaurants. They can't travel. But that's not what this is. This is about integrating a healthy lifestyle into the life that you already live so that you can keep it interesting and you can be human. You can have human experiences. But most of the time, you're living a healthy lifestyle and you're taking care of yourselves and you feel good and you're enjoying your life. And you don't feel like bland and empty and mundane and I can't experience things or hang out with people and I'm cut off from the world and this is awful and I'm restricting foods that I love and I hate going to the gym. That's not what this is. This is about feeling your best, taking care of your body, and experiencing life. Oh, I guess that's the end. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad I was able to share this with you guys. I just wanted to show you the exact process that I've used other than just working out, nutrition, and motivation or mindset. Other than those three things. These are the intertwined things that not a lot of people pay attention to. So I hope this helps. If you guys have questions at all about anything I've gone over, or you want a specific diet and workout plan put together for you, just go to my Instagram, dianarawer.fit. I'll put the link in the description so that you can see it, and DM me, and we can talk about your goals and see if I can help you at all. But I hope this helps you guys. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.